All right, good evening. We continue today's press conference. We have Head Coach Nick Cushing. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Scott Pearson.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the tie and obviously how big this was. Talk a little bit about the procedure now going into the break, because it is a schedule that you haven't had this season. What's the plan? What's the routine for the next 10 days? Thank you.
I think it's give the guys some days to rest and some days to spend some time with their families and some time to reflect on the last, it's been a difficult period. And the game today was difficult. The first 30 minutes were, they were difficult. So I think it's important that the guys get some time away with their family, some time to reflect, ready to come back. We've had a lot of travel, so ready to come back and push hard for the three really important games that are at our home.
Michael Allen.
Yeah, Nick, thanks for taking the time and congratulations on the point tonight. I just wanted to ask you, at the beginning of this road stint, you said that you'd know a lot more about who this team was at the end of it. And now at the end of it, who are they? What do you have a sense of?
No, I didn't say that I would know a lot more about who the team was. I said we would know the capability of the team. And I think we've learned the capability of the team. I think we've seen that when we show maturity and we show resilience, we can get back into games that are really difficult on the road. And I think, we know that we're capable of getting back into games. We're capable of coming back from 1-0. And we know that we're capable of digging in really deep and making sure that we cope with the slow start. We cope with the fact that Orlando are a good team and they can get the ball wide and they have big number 9s that can attack crosses, but also we can get a foothold in the game and we can create some chances ourselves. So we didn't do it in Toronto. We fought hard in the Charlotte game and it's really disappointing, that one. And, we probably were the better team in areas of the game in the Red Bull game, but we didn't finish the game strong. We didn't show enough resilience and maturity and character to get back into that game. We for sure did tonight. And I think we've shown the capability of ourselves that when we don't do it, we make the game difficult for ourselves. When we do it, we can get a point. And, I think if we'd have scored a little bit earlier in the game, I think we'd have gone on and won the game.
Michael Andrew.
Nick, you mentioned a lot how this league is about fine margins. Talk to us about tonight and the fine margin of maybe Gabe doesn't get on the end of that cross, and it's a much different next 10 days.
Yeah, I think either way we'll reflect and review the game exactly the same way. We've got a point and we're really pleased with a point, and I'm more pleased with the character of the group and the resilience. The likes of Telles Magno, Santiago Rodriguez tonight showed how important they are and how much we rely on them to really dig in and dictate games offensively for us. Gabe, I'm really pleased for Gabe because he works like an animal. He works so hard. He's so honest, and he was due a chance. So he said to me at halftime when I put him in, I will score. And I love this guy's attitude. It's exactly what we need at our football club. The margins are really small. You see, we start slow, we go 1-0 down. You see at 1-0, it can be 2-0, but Luis Barraza makes a world-class save. The margins are small. We rely on individual ability, but we also rely on our ability as a team. And I thought we really showed how we're growing and how we're learning through this difficult period. And, this is probably the most difficult place we've been. Out of Toronto, Charlotte, Cincinnati, and Red Bull, this is the most difficult game we've had. And to come out with it with a point, I think is a huge positive for our team.
Trey?
Hey, Coach. Congrats on coming back and getting a point on the road. This team isn't one that has normally or generally or regularly had these kind of group huddles on the field, either before or after games. But there was one noticeably after the match tonight. We saw on the broadcast Thiago Martin speaking to the team, pretty animated. I'm wondering what was being said and also the meaning of kind of having one of those moments for this team after this stretch.
It was Thiago Martins that dictated that. He got the team in. He obviously had something that he wanted to say. And I think I've said before, we rely on the leadership of the likes of Maxime Chanot, Thiago Martins, James Sands, Keaton Parks, the guys that for different reasons have leadership roles in this group, whether it's age, whether it's experience, whether it's performance level, consistency, whether it's time, served at this football club. Those guys know what this team needs and what a successful MLS team needs. And, you know, those guys have been disappointed over the last 3-4 weeks that, you know, we haven't been out of games. There isn't a game we've been out of. Toronto 1-0, Charlotte 3-2, Cincinnati 1-0, and Red Bull 1-0. And they know that the margins are small, and they know that maybe when you don't play your best football and you don't create clear chances, there's still a chance if you stay in a game, but you have to grind it. And he wanted to say that to the team. He wanted to convey that message to the team. He wanted to congratulate certain guys that did dig in deep and probably did something that they haven't done over the last 4 weeks. And ultimately, he plays a role just like Maxime Chanot, James Sands, Keaton Parks, Luis Barraza, those guys, in educating and helping the younger guys, because we're a young team, in educating and helping those guys in learning that, you know what, sometimes it doesn't go for you. We can't just have the perfect game like we did at Dallas. Sometimes you just got to grind it out. And I think that's a really important point for us tonight.
Chris?
Coach, a lot of the opportunities came in towards the last 20, 15 minutes of the match, and the pace of the opportunities sort of grew as the second half wore on. Why do you think that was? Why do you think that the attack was creating so many good opportunities towards the end of the match?
Because we stick to what we work on, because we do exactly what we know we have to do to win football games, and we haven't done that enough. We've tended to not finish games strong because whether the team's too emotional, whether we don't show the maturity, we don't show the resilience. I've been critical of our team over those small moments that we didn't finish the game strong enough in Toronto. We came undone. We didn't finish the game strong enough in Red Bull, in a game that, in my opinion, we should never lose. But at the same time, we have to be really realistic. This is a new group and it's a very young group. And we don't have those really, really key characters. We don't have 7, 8 of those really experienced guys that know MLS inside out. But what we do have is a lot of talent and a lot of potential talent. And I think tonight they really made a step. I'm so proud of the guys like Santiago Rodriguez, like Thales Magno, because those guys really carried our offense tonight. And I think you see that if they do that, we can be a very dangerous football team in the final third.
And then final two, Caroline and Christian Headage.
Hey, Nick. Good to talk to you as ever. You could see how much that goal meant to the squad, and I know it's been discussed about the post-match sort of discussions on the pitch. How big of a moment does that feel, not just to end sort of the road stretch on a losing streak, but also to go into this break on a positive note? And obviously a lot's been said about decision-making in the final third. That goal, is that pretty much everything that you were looking for?
Yeah, I think I've criticised decision-making in the final third because when we review the games, we see moments where we can be better. But I'm also realistic with where we're at with the group. Tonight, I'll probably see those moments again when we're taking shots from 18 yards. But at the same time, the guys, it's for the right reasons. The guys are trying to solve that problem. They're trying to put the ball in the goal and tie the game. I was pleased with the goal because Gabe, just personally for him, he really deserves a goal. He works so hard. He is such a team guy, whether he's picked or not picked. And you know, I'm a believer in life that when you do that, it pays back. And it paid back for him tonight. On his birthday as well, by the way. It's his birthday, so it was a really good present. I feel the team's made a step tonight. I feel the team has seen what happens when you dig in. You know, we can't just have the perfect game every week where we have the ball and we create moments and we win 3. This is not MLS. You have to grind at home and away. And the Philly game at home will be no different. And I think the team has shown tonight that it's made a step in its maturity. It's shown how you grind games out, but it's down to us now to learn from it and to harness that and to grow as a football team. And if we do that, we'll have more chance of tying these difficult games on the road, maybe winning them and winning more home games.
Hi, Coach. You've talked very glowingly about the team's character. Was that in action this evening with 2 substitutes coming on and combining the 89th to get the goal?
Yeah, I think, you know, we were really disappointed to lose Mateus Pellegrini after so many minutes. 7 minutes, I think it was. It's crazy. But, you know, Tellez was out the team tonight, and to put him in, he really showed the energy and the effort for the team, which is minimum requirement for one of our players. And he really showed his ability with the ball. He was dangerous. And an assist for him is, you know, he plays the game for assists and goals. And to get in that moment, I'm pleased for him. Yeah, I think I'm just so pleased that we showed resilience. We've made a step, but it's only one step. We still haven't won a game on the road, so we have to be realistic. It's a tie and it's a good result because we were 1 down, but we still have work to do. With a young team and a new team, we still have a lot of work to do.
Great. Thanks, everyone.